like a clumpy tomato sauce with bits of cheese in it. Oh, that's delicious.
Bring it home.
Come on, mate. Let's do this. I don't know why I'm feeding him and not feeding myself. I'm gonna put the sauce on.
Unbelievable. Oh my god.
Good?
Oh my god.
We are back in Deli Bros. I am super excited to try this place. Pastrami meat on rye bread in mustard, and of course that elite pastrami is processed and created themselves in their own processing facility, which isn't too far from here. That is my son crying for a bite, but I'm not going to share it with him because it's that good. Have a look. Here we go. Still not getting anywhere. That pastrami is the best pastrami I've tried in my life. Pastrami can be quite problematic sometimes. Often stringy, chewy, a little bit dense, sometimes waxy. This is just melt in your mouth. Perfect smoky taste, perfect cured taste to it. And that produce is just unbelievably good. Deli Bros, baby. Alright guys, we've travelled near and far around Albania to find some fresh Bulak. We've stopped in Shkodër and we found a place that literally serves exactly that. Freshly made, homemade Bulak. Now you guys know about Bulak. It's a pastry dish. There's cheese in there, there's spinach there, there can often be meat in there. It's very common actually in Turkey, but also neighbouring countries too. The Balkans are big on Bulak. So there are probably going to be subtle differences between Turkish Bulak. I'm not too sure. Let's try and see. Look, this is the spinach and cheese variation. Look at that. Let's go. Tastes about a day old. Now, I think it's not as flaky and as crunchy as I would have liked. I think it's actually become as they're closing up. So this is probably their last serving of the day. You can tell if this was fresh out the oven, it would have tasted a lot better. But nonetheless, it's still very good. That classic oily, flaky, cheesy, dense, rich Bulak that you'd expect is very, very tasty. I'm also going to try another variation. This is just the cheese one. No spinach here. Let's go. Yeah, I feel like in the Balkans, in Turkey, they use like almost like a white feta cheese and everything. It's like quite a tough, fudgy kind of cheese, and it's super salty. It works really well with the Bulak actually. Delicious. Now, before we move on, I also got something else to show you. This is called thale, and it's basically the Albanian version of ayran, which is obviously the Turkish yogurt drink, which we've had many times.
Free drink from the shop.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Albanian drink.
Ah, what is this?
Golden Eagle.
Drink. Golden Eagle.
Yes, Albanian drink.
Not alcoholic, right?
No alcohol.
Perfect. Thank you very much, my friend.
Enjoy.
Look at that. Golden Eagle. Albanian energy drink. They've given us on the house as well. Beautiful. Now, before we try that, thale. which is basically Albanian ayran, served up exactly how Turkish ayran is. Now I'm told the Albanian ayran is slightly different to the Turkish ayran because it's a bit more watery in consistency. Let's see if that's true. Here we go. Absolutely right. That is so refreshing. I think I prefer that to Turkish ayran. Albanian ayran, very, very good. Or I should call it what it's actually called, thale. And it's basically a little bit more runny, more watered down version of the thick ayran that you're used to having in Turkish restaurants in London. But this is ultra refreshing, and when we're in the scorching Albanian sun, this goes a long way. Delicious. Before I let you go though, since he's pulled out the Golden Eagle, it'd be remiss of me not to try this too. Golden Eagle energy drink. Here we go. That is banging. Wow. Red Bull, you have nothing on this. I'm gonna be very honest with you. This is one of the best energy drinks I've ever had. Sharp, that classic tangy energy vibe to it. Very, very good. Burek energy drink and thale, very good. Let's go. Right guys, we've come all the way to Shkoda, one of the major cities here in Albania, for this next meal. We've come to a restaurant called Fisi. Now, admittedly, that might sound like feces, but actually the name is quite brilliant because Fisi is short for Fisnik in Albanian, which means generous, and that's the name of the owner. And we've come to this restaurant, which is basically 100% halal, which is why we've come here. It's quite difficult. I know Albania is a Muslim country, but finding halal restaurants isn't as easy as you might expect. So coming to this place, which serves traditional Albanian food and some great steak, which is all 100% halal, is brilliant. So we're super, super excited, and we're going to tuck into a range of Albanian traditional dishes, as well as some T-bone steak. Excited? Very. Now before the food gets here, we're going to do a quick drinks test. We've got the Fanta Exotic, which can only be found in Albania, by the way. Tastes like Haribo's. Very, very good. What's this one?
Peach, mate.
Ibi. Rikoka I Gazwa. Don't know what that means. Also another traditional drink.
Oh, we've got some food coming up.
Oh, that is unbelievable. Right guys, the first dish has arrived. It's called tava del, and it's basically a traditional Albanian dish. It's cottage cheese with beef cubes cooked in a bit of spices and tomato sauce, and it's a very, very good dipping starter dish. So let's get a little bit of that. I'll try and get some beef. It's incredibly hot, so you've got to be careful.
Very hot.
Cheese is sort of clumped up. It's like a clumpy tomato sauce with bits of cheese in it. Oh, that's delicious. It's got a bit of spice to it, but it's also got a bit of tang to it. Quite acidic. Very, very good. Honestly, traditional taste of Albania, already going down a treat. There's a big clump of meat in there. Let's try a bit of this without burning myself. As hot as in temperature-wise hot. Quite spicy too, but delicious. Starter number 2 has come out. This is an assortment of traditional Albanian goodies. And as you can see here, we've got a mix of quite a bit of veg. Here we've got potatoes, we've got roast veg here. This is called the Kosovan pie, which we're told is basically layers upon layers of butter and bread. And then obviously, I'll leave you to explain what these are, mate, as being the Arab that you are.
But I'm actually, mate, stuffed peppers, rice and herbs, stuffed vine leaves, stuffed aubergine. Stuffed peppers and herbs, mate.
So basically, the great thing about the Balkans is it's kind of in the middle of Europe and kind of the Middle East as well, / Turkey. So it picks up different traits, cultural traits on both sides. So these stuffed vegetables with rice is such a traditional Arab thing, but apparently traditionally Albanian thing as well. Let's go, mate. What should we go for first? Let's go for this.
Go for the matcha.
Let's go for that first. Ooh, well look here. That rice is similar to the Egyptian style rice. It's quite dense, quite thick, but the colour's slightly different. It's a bit more white as opposed to yellow. What do you think?
It's nice. It's got like a meaty texture to it. I think there might be meat inside.
I think what's strikingly different is that it's not tangy at all. Usually when you have a vine leaf in Egypt or wherever else, it's lathered with lemon juice, so it's quite tangy. There's absolutely no lemon in that whatsoever. Next one.
Stuffed pepper.
It's getting nice. There we go.
You destroyed that.
Open it right up. So again, pepper. This rice looks a bit more flavoured, to be fair, than the last one. It's a bit more yellow. Doesn't look that appealing. Oh, that is nice stuff. Aubergine?
Flavoursome.
Let's go Obi. Obi, get the aubergine. Ooh, that's a lot more smoky. That's a lot more smoky. That's got a really nice smoky flavour as well, which is very good. I'm really keen on trying this actually. Let's go.
Bring it around, bring it around.
Let's go, bring it around. This is the Kosovan pie, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. No, I absolutely love that.
It's genius, but
It's the most dense carby thing that you can possibly think of.
it's literally a bread pie.
It's literally just bread and butter pudding, but without the pudding. It's a savoury bread and butter pudding. Kosovan pie, ladies and gentlemen. Very good, very good. Forgot to mention, guys, there's also a cheese dipping sauce in the middle. This is cottage cheese again, but they're using it as a dip in the middle, but it's very, very delicious. All right, guys, the main meal has arrived, and now I'm very, very excited, as you can probably tell, because it's all meat, just an elite selection of meat. We're gonna start with the dry aged steak, purely 100% an Albanian cow, by the way, dry aged for at least a month. We're about to try it. Look at this beauty. Look at the fat content on the side. That's a dense bit of fat right there, and look at the lovely marks through the middle. That's all, immediately you can tell that's going to be a very good bit of steak.
Bring it home.
Come on, mate. Let's do this. I don't know why I'm feeding him and not feeding myself. I'm gonna put a sauce on it.
Unbelievable. Oh my god.
Good?
Oh my god.
No, Alex been waiting. Go on, first bite.
Oh my god.
Elite.
That is unbelievable. That is an absolutely elite bit of steak. Literally melts in your mouth like butter. The fat to meat ratio is perfect, and it's seasoned incredibly well. There's a little bit of like a creamy mayonnaise on the side as well. It doesn't taste like a typical mayonnaise, it's extra creamy. A bit cheesy as well. I don't really know what's going on there, but it's delicious. Right, next we're gonna have the Kosovan sujuk. So this is literally Kosovo and Albania, as you know, very similar cultures, shared history. So we've got a little bit of
That's controversial.
We've got a little bit of Kosovan sausage here. In this, have a look at this sauce. We've got chili sauce here, a little bit of unbelievable chili sauce, homemade by the way, and you got that garlic butter. I'm gonna do this first. Let's go. That to me tastes like a combination of sujuk that you might have in the Middle East or Turkey and merguez from North Africa. Somewhere in the middle.
Smoky, a bit tough.
Smoky, bit rigid, bit tough, but very, very tasty. I'm enjoying it. Then they call this the homemade sausage. Basically another kind of sausage, but it's more like a kebab.
Sauce or no sauce?
Always sauce, my friend. Always sauce. This is a bit more kebab-like.
Strong.
Just smoky and delicious. Ribs.
The aftertaste on that.
It's a
Very
smoky
good.
aftertaste, isn't it? Very, very good. Time for some ribs. This is a meat feast like never before. Those ribs are so jelly-like, by the way.
No bone.
There's no bone. They've deboned it. Now, this man loves a good rib. What's your verdict?
Surprisingly crispy. But very good flavour.
It's a
Got a lot of fat.
bit
but
tendony, if you know what I mean.
yeah, a little. That's probably the crisp. The crunch. Actually, just connective tissue.
But it works. They've softened the the surrounding tendony part to such a degree that you can just eat it and it just adds a weird crunch to it, like a chewy crunch, but it's very, very nice. Everything on our table right now is pretty familiar. This is the only unfamiliar thing. This is called tave kosi, and it's effectively rice mixed with yogurt, again with some lamb chunks in there as well. So similar to what we had at the beginning.
We had
but
Ruz
slightly
Muammar
different.
in Egypt.
What's it called?
We had Ruz Muammar in
No.
Egypt, where they bring out the rice in a clay pot with like a layer of milk on top.
There you go. Similarities between Albania and Egypt.
What did I say, mate? What did I tell you yesterday? Albanians are the Egyptians of Europe.
As a wise man once said, the Albanians are the Egyptians of Europe. Now I don't know if the people of Albania are going to be utterly offended by that, or they're going to take it well. But enough chit chat. Let's get a little bit of the tave kosi. I've absolutely mullered that.
Very hot.
It's basically like a casserole. I mean, that looks like it's going to burn my insides. So maybe we should wait a little. Actually, nah, I ain't got time to wait. Man, I wish I waited. That is so hot. That rice has basically almost amalgamated into the yogurt and it's become some sort of mush. So it's literally meat and mush with a little bit of cheesy topping.
A little bit bland. I feel like it could do with.
I got a little bone in there.
That's shocking. That is shocking.
We wanted a taste of Albania. He's given us a taste of Albania. Now, whether or not I'd order this again, I'm not too sure.
It looks better than it tastes.
100%. It looks a lot better than it tastes. It's quite bland. It needs a bit more spice, a bit more flavour. But all in all, very, very good.
That's all the meats.
That's all we're going to be eating at Fisi in Skoda, one of the most popular restaurants in all of Albania. 2 branches across the country. Everything here is 100% halal, but you get a completely authentic experience. You've got to try this place when you come here.